Hey guys, welcome back. Today we will be covering Azure Virtual Machines, virtualization, availability, scaling, and a few extra features. So let's get into it. So before we talk about virtual machines, we need to understand a very important topic. Virtualization. A physical server is made up of CPUs, memory, and storage. In the early days, the norm was one application per physical server. This led to a problem: underutilized resources. If an application didn't need the full power of the server, the rest of that capacity just went to waste. That means inefficiency and higher cost. Virtualization solves this. Virtualization uses software called hypervisor to run multiple virtual machines on a single physical server. This gives us two results. Improved resource utilization by sharing hardware resources across multiple VMs. Flexibility. You can easily create, modify, and move VMs to meet changing demands. This is also the foundation of cloud computing. Cloud services like AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud are all built on this idea of virtualization. In corporate data centers, applications are deployed to physical servers. So the question becomes, where do you deploy applications in the cloud? The answer is you rent virtual servers. These virtual servers are called virtual machines. In Azure, they are called Azure Virtual Machines, and Azure lets you provision and manage them. So the key features of Azure VMs are: create and manage the lifecycle of a VM, load balancing and auto-scaling for multiple VM instances, attach storage to your VM instances, manage network connectivity and configuration for your VM instances. One important concept tied to all of this is availability. Availability means, are your applications available when users need them? More specifically, it's the percentage of time an application provides the operation expected of it. So let's look at what different availability percentage actually mean in terms of downtime. So 99.95%. Availability allows for about 22 minutes of downtime in a month. Second, 99.99%, also called 4 nines, allows for about 4.5 minutes of downtime. Most online applications aim for 4 nines. 99.999%, 5 nines, allows for only about 26 seconds of downtime. This is tough to achieve. So how do you actually increase availability of Azure VMs? Single instance VM using premium SSD or ultra disk, 99.9%. Using standard SSD managed disk, 99.5%. Using standard HDD managed disk, 95%. 2 or more instances in the same availability set, 99.95%. An availability set is a logical grouping of VMs. It's built on two concepts. First, fault domains, a group of VMs sharing a common power source and network switch. Update domains, a group of VMs that get rebooted or updated at the same time. 2 or more instances across 2 or more availability zones in the same Azure region is 99.99%. Now, if you're managing multiple VMs, how do you simplify creating and managing all of them? This is where virtual machine scale sets or VMSs comes in. VMSs allows you to create and manage a group of Azure VMs together. Here's what they offer. Provide high availability to applications, can add a load balancer, can distribute VM instances across availability zones. Support both manual scaling and auto scaling. Support up to 1000 VMs. A few more useful VM features worth knowing. Static IP. This doesn't change when you restart the VM. A dynamic IP is the opposite. It can change on restart. Azure monitoring, used to monitor VM performances. Dedicated hosts, physical servers dedicated entirely to one customer. Azure Spot VMs, these let you take advantage of Azure's unused capacity at a significant cost savings. The catch, at any point if Azure needs that capacity back, it will evict your Spot VM. Because of this, Spot VMs are great for workloads that can handle interruptions. Things like batch processing jobs, dev test environments, and large computing workloads. VM reservation. This lets you reserve VMs ahead of time for either 1 or 3 years, usually at low cost. When designing solutions with VM, there are two things to think about: availability and scaling. Vertical scaling. This means deploying your application or database to bigger infrastructure. a larger hard drive, a faster CPU, more RAM, more I/O, or more networking capability. In Azure, you can increase your VM size, but there are limits to how far you can scale vertically. Horizontal scaling. This means deploying multiple instances of an application or database. Instead of making one instance bigger, horizontal scaling is generally preferred over vertical scaling because vertical scaling has limits. Vertical scaling can get expensive, horizontal scaling increases availability. The trade-off is that horizontal scaling needs additional infrastructure to support it. Resilience. This ties it all together. Resilience is the ability of the system to provide acceptable behavior even when something fails. So last topic for today is Azure Site Recovery. So it basically replicates your data to another Azure region to support business continuity and disaster recovery needs. A few things it helps with: data distribution across regions, disaster recovery, managing recovery cost, and security. So that covers Azure virtual machines. If this made sense, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.